Good evening, everyone, and my name is Zachary Pegram. Today I will be talking with you the basic authority, training, and representation of law enforcement in our society today. To begin, I'll give you a statistic. In the year 1791, the first officer was recorded as dying in the line of duty. Since that date, we've had 20,000 officers die in the line of duty. Officers go through much adversity and not much cooperation on a day-to-day basis. However, yet they still pursue this career at the best of their ability. There are two main reasons I'm going to be picking this topic. The first being that our society, an American society, on a day-to-day basis, deals with police officers over law enforcement of some type, whether that be a positive or negative reflection. That image will carry on and mold and shape our society and our thoughts on police officers. The second reason I'm very passionate about law enforcement. I'm currently in the process of applying to work for the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department this coming May upon graduation. Though most of us understand the training they go through when it comes with the proficiency of a firearm or that of hand-to-hand combat or protection or basic traffic violations and how to go about those procedures. Many of us don't understand the types of trainings they go through when it comes to specialized groups such as the mentally ill or things of that nature. When I sat down and did my interview, the gentleman I interviewed discussed how no training they set up at the police academy, no matter how accurate, will never be a perfect representation of that in the real world. And the only way to gain that is to go out there in the real world, in that occupation, and live it day to day. One of the biggest arguments is the authority given to police officers. Many would consider the United States a police state, and by that it means that the authorities have way too much power versus that of the normal citizen. When I prompted this question in the interview, he simply said, you cannot compare the U.S. to a police state. North Korea would be considered a police state where, if you're even lucky, your trial would go, and it could last anywhere from 15 minutes to an hour if you were lucky enough to have a trial. Another big topic is lethal force, when and when not to use it. Through the many years of law enforcement, there has been critiquing of certain procedures, and there's always new procedures being applied, as I'm told. One of that mainly being lethal force. Many times, lethal force is met in the qualifications for it, and it shows not to. Police officers will try anything they can not to have to take another life. However, some people would disagree, and there has been instances in the past that would support this. The big issue today is cameras. Many people have a camera, practically everyone. Whether you have an iPhone, an Android, or something of that nature, you can take a video or photo practically whenever and whatever that you would like to. This has not worked well for the police force, however, because if the news gets a hold of it and wants to shape it in a way that only shows the victim side of the incident, then they can do that just by cutting out all the clip and showing only 10 seconds. Sometimes it is justified why it is being reported. However, there's also now the new investment into body cams. For those of you who don't know, a body cam is worn by a police officer along his chest and is used in insurance just in case an officer is ever in an altercation where they would need that insurance to come out to prove that they're innocent. Officers put all this flack behind them to protect for those who give it to them. By that I mean on a day-to-day basis, no matter how many negative conflicts they run into, they continuously go towards striving to help their community. I asked the gentleman I interviewed what was the best part about his job. He told me, can I say everything? He loves the ability of being able to get out of his car and simply hang out with the neighborhood kids and talk to them and try to heal these old wounds that certain racial tensions or poverty-stricken areas have driven. Thank you.